All right, legislation that would reform the firing policies at scandal-plagued Veterans Affairs, which we've been chronicling for the past year or so, passing in the House with a 256 to 170 majority vote. But the White House threatening to veto the legislation. Captain Pete Hegseth, actually, you got it, Major Pete Hegseth, the CEO of Concerned Veterans for America and a Fox News contributor. So, Pete, why would the administration stand in the way of legislation that would make people more accountable at the VA?
Because they're more interested in keeping their union friends close than they are in doing the right thing here. They wanted to give cover to Democrats in the House to vote against this bill. Thankfully, 16 Democrats courageously crossed the line, voted with Republicans, but one voted for this bill, because ultimately all it does is give new tools to the Secretary to fire employees who currently can't be fired. People are clamoring for this. Vets are clamoring for this on Twitter. It was overwhelming how much people want it. The reality is they're also baffled as to who are these people voting against it. It's because there's other quiet special interests, Brian, as you know, that are fighting back against stuff like that. Well,
you have your union employees, and one thing we heard from Director McDonald is, I can't really fire anybody. You want me to keep people accountable, but there's a union stopping me. So legislation is now out there to give people more power and be accountable, like the average person on the street going to work today. And because the Democrats now say, we're afraid they're going to be hard to get good people to come aboard if they don't have that job security.
And their argument falls apart on its face. I mean, Jeff Miller sliced these guys apart on the House floor. It was amazing to watch the debate. The folks opposing it wanted to check no on the box and then run out for the recess. The folks supporting it were putting it out, pushing it out, talking about what an important day it was. I mean, it was a sad no vote for those who voted against it, many of which will be held accountable, we believe. And now it goes to the Senate. Now it goes to a place where this can also pass. Then it would go to the president's desk. And is the president really ready to veto an accountability bill that veterans are clamoring for? This is going to be a high-stakes debate, and concerned vets and other groups are behind it to try to push it across the finish line.
I talked to Chairman Miller on the radio yesterday, and there needs to be an offensive push for the Veterans Administration for this new policy. They can't just pass it, let the president get behind a microphone, mischaracterize it, and then have him veto it. They have to go out and use their communications ability, which you're doing right now.
But the VA is not doing that. Secretly, the VA is trying to defeat this stuff. I mean, this is where the bureaucracy is so powerful and tries to squelch reforms. I mean, this is really vets groups and advocates got to be out there pounding the pavement about this, because the unions, the White House, the VA, they're all silently trying to suffocate it. It's put up or shut up time, Brian. Over this recess, we're going to fight and get a vote in the Senate in September.
Well, those 16 Democrats in the House that's going to pass the Senate, they have to speak up, too, if they believe what you're saying, and I'm sure their vote indicates that. So we have to stand up and have some illustrations. Pete Hegseth, thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, Brian.